If you can't understand what that's saying, it's either my fault or your fault.
Well, I'm just trying to take in. I mean, at the moment, just sort of facts. It's a female drag queen, 39.
No, not paedophile, not female.
I said paedophile.
Oh, I beg your pardon.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's found out on nights out with friends.
His name's Darren Moore. It's the red bits we want to read. The red bits, Darren Moore. So who is this ADHD? That's the next question. That's the one reading to children up and down the country. It's his friend, yeah, begging for money for his dead paedophile friend. I'm saying the drag queen is going up and down the country reading to children is friends with paedophiles. I think that might be an issue. What says you, sir?
Well, there's not necessarily an issue with being a drag queen.
No, being friends with a paedophile. Like, it's not his son. It's not like he's got to be friends with him. Do you know what I mean?
No, absolutely, absolutely. There's a lot of people that are paedophiles and they accept the fact it's wrong, and they don't involve themselves with children.
I mean, I don't know about all that.
Well, you know, and I think that's one of the things that is probably a thing you need. No, I mean, there's no way can you make paedophilia legal or anything like that.
But that's what they're trying to do.
Okay, well, there's no way.
That's what they're trying to do. Through the back door, with stuff like this. This is all desensitisation of the young children. This is not, in any shape or form, ever reasonable, sensible, appropriate for children to be bearing witness to, is it? Since when? Like, no.
Well, nothing to do with paedophiles.
No, but even drag queens. Why are you showing 3-year-olds, 4-year-olds drag queens? Like,
but if you've got a drag queen reading stories, then it's the content of the stories.
I don't know, because you could argue, I take on board what you're saying, right? But you could argue, still, nonetheless, the child, because it's still going to have his hair done, yeah, it's still going to be in drag, else there would be no point in having it, right? And it's going to say, why was that man with the hairy chest and the long hair and the glamorous fingernails and the eyeliner? What was that? As a 3-year-old, as a 4-year-old, as someone who sometimes thinks they're a dinosaur, yeah, what was that day? And do you know, malleable, intrigued, like children, they want to put things in their mouths and, you know what I mean, they just want to explore shit, and that's not reasonable. It's your duty as a parent, as an adult, to protect children from this sort of heinous stuff, no?
Well, I mean, the only thing I'm going to say is wrong is obviously sexual encounters which include children. That's what's wrong. I think somebody...
So just telling the child the whole concept, explaining the child the concept of drag...
You don't have to explain...
Well, you do if you're going to present it with it.
What you do is you let the child ask.
No, you don't let the child ask. You protect the child from having to witness that until they're a reasonable age.
When I was young, I was about 7 at the time.
Right, twice the age of what we're talking about.
Yeah, no, let me finish.
Right.
And I remember somebody saying to me, oh, so-and-so and so-and-so, he really looks like his dad. And then they said, but you look like your dad. And I'm thinking, now that got me answering questions. I knew I came out of my mum's tummy, and I probably looked like my mum. But what's my dad got to do with it?
You lost me.
No, well, okay. When somebody said I look like my dad,
right,
I can understand that I can look like my mum.
Right.
Because I came out of my mum's belly.
Yeah, but you come out your dad's belly end.
No, but that I wasn't told. And I wanted to know why I would look like my dad.
Right.
And all I was interested in was just the mechanics of it.
Right.
And it took me ages for my parents to be able to tell me that.
Well, that's a good thing.
No, well, I say that, well, yeah. But I asked...
That's the problem with today, we haven't got enough of that.
No, but I asked the question.
Right.
And I think you have to do that with kids.
When they ask. When they ask. Yeah, but this is force feeding it to them. This is what I'm saying. This is not giving it to them when they ask.
Well, I can't say what the storyline of this is.
Dead paedophile drag queen. Other drag queen who we can't verify if they're a paedophile or not, but he's vouching for this other one, begging for him.
But drag queens might know each other because
they do. They all know each other through RuPaul.
And they probably all act together.
They do, and they probably all sodomise together and all.
Well, being a paedophile isn't the same as being...
Bring the camera closer and zoom in. It's too far away from you.
See, I got a cameraman, but he's busy.
But being a paedophile isn't the same as being a homosexual.
No, definitely not. I'm not trying to suggest that. Do you mind being on film a little bit? Right, Sando. What's your name, by the way, John?
Andy.
I'm Jim. Nice to meet you.
Jim.
So you ain't a paedophile, just to be sure?
No, I'm not a paedophile. I'm gay.
Oh, right. Okay, brilliant. Right. I don't think all gays are paedophiles.
I think a very small number of gays are paedophiles.
Right. No, I don't think there's any sort of thing like that. I think this is a completely separate issue. I think this, honestly, Peter, I think. But the trans thing. You can never. Are you a communist?
No.
Right, this is the difference. This is the difference, and I'm glad you said that because it makes me a bit more sane, right? So they're all the trans ones. They're all communists, and it's more about their ideological things of they're willing to sacrifice a child's innocence for the downfall of capitalism. That's where we're at.
No, I think
that's what it is.
No.
That's what it is. That's what the trans thing is.
I think you are going a little bit too far.
Do you think?
I think that's a little bit.
But I do get amongst them all, asking them all questions, and they're all communists, like proper, like Nazis coming. It's like, no, there's a child safeguarding issue.
I think what happens probably with a lot of trans people is that there's a sense of being maybe discriminated against, which probably makes them feel that way. And I think.
Right,
I don't know that many people. That
I would argue that a lot of them, like I'm autistic myself, right? So this is why this whole thing, because he's trying to be some sort of spokesperson, sort of idol for autistic children. I've made a video about it. Being autistic myself, I sort of think like, no, you're trying to take advantage of vulnerable children, is what you're trying to do. Do you see what I'm saying? So I've got there's a lot of deep personal stuff with this with myself. Like this is why I'm not just some crank shouting about people and that. I've got like my own reasons and that, like for like. But this shit does go on, and there's something real seedy going on with these rude ball people.
See?
I'm almost certain of it, but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, paedophilia, as I say, can never ever be legalised.
They're trying to.
Okay.
Adult attracted minor. You've heard of minor attracted persons? Because they're trying to legalise.
I've heard of paedophiles.
Right. Well, they've got a new one. They got a new one called minor attracted persons, which is a sort of cleaner way of saying paedophile. I don't
think you're ever going to get any public support for legalising paedophilia. No. It's just not going to happen.
No.
It's just never. It won't. It won't.
So what? Yeah, but this is what it's all about. It's about the liberation of the children. It's just liberating.
There's a lot of paedophiles.
Right.
That what they see. We've legalised and we've accepted homosexual men.
Right.
That's not a problem. And now the next step on is we do the same
little boys
with sort of kids, and that's how they see it. And there's a lot of gay people that hate paedophiles because what they will do, they will make homosexuality
banned again.
More, yeah.
Oh.
But I would suggest to you that these people are in such a small, tiny minority that if you blink, they'll go away.
I mean, I don't know. I've been following this gentleman up and down the country, mate, and I'm quite worried about what he's involved in after seeing all this.